Hey everyone, Hannah here from Sheet Leveler. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use two incredibly powerful Excel functions, index and match, to perform advanced lookups in your spreadsheets. When you combine these two functions together, they create one of the most flexible and powerful lookup formulas in Excel. Now I'm working with a sample spreadsheet here that you can download and follow along with. The link is in the description below this video. Let me show you what we're working with. This is a sales record for a hypothetical media business that sells various products. They've been tracking monthly sales across different product categories, things like DVDs, CDs, books, software, and so on. The goal. Here's what I want to accomplish. Over here on the right side of the spreadsheet, next to where it says Product Category, I want to be able to type in a product. Let's say DVDs. And next to month, I want to type in a specific month. Let's say June. Then I want Excel to automatically show me the total sales of DVDs for the month of June by looking up that exact intersection in my data table. So how can we accomplish this? Using the index and match functions together is one of the absolute best ways to do this type of two-dimensional lookup. Let's start by understanding each function individually, beginning with index. Then we'll look at match, and finally, we'll combine them together. What index does? The index function is designed to help you extract specific information from a range of data. It works by letting you specify which row and which column you want to pull data from within a range you define. For example, I could use index to search through this data range and produce the value that's located in the second column and the third row. If I did that correctly, it should return the value 105, which is what's at that intersection. Let me demonstrate exactly how index works. Creating an index formula. Here in cell J7, I'm going to type equals INDEX, open parenthesis. As soon as I type that, Excel gives us some helpful hints about what this function is looking for. There are actually a couple of different variations of index we could use, but I'm going to stick with the top example, which is the most common. First, Excel is looking for an array, which is basically a range of cells. Just like in my earlier example, I'm going to click and drag to highlight the range of numbers in my spreadsheet, all the sales data. Next, Excel expects a comma, and then it wants to know the row number, followed by another comma, and the column number. So I'll type, comma, and now I need to specify which row I want. Let's say I want to produce that value of 105 that I mentioned earlier. If you remember, my selection started here at the top and continued all the way down. So even though the Excel row number on the left says row 2, within my selected range, this counts as row 1 of my array. The next row down is row 2, and the one after that is row 3. So I'm going to type 3 to indicate the third row within my selected range. Then I'll type, comma. Now Excel wants to know which column. Looking at my selection, the first column of data I selected is column 1, and the second column is column 2. The value 105 is in the second column of my selection, so I'll type 2. Then I'll close the parenthesis, though in many cases Excel will add that automatically, and tap Enter. Let me read that complete formula aloud. Equals INDEX, open parenthesis, B2 colon H12, comma, 3 comma, 2, close parenthesis. The result. Notice that it produced the correct number, 105. So index worked perfectly. That's what the index function does for us. It helps us identify a specific row and column intersection, like third row and second column, or fifth row and 10th column, and then produces whatever value is in that cell. The limitation of index alone. Now, whatever row and column numbers we put into the index formula will determine which cell it looks at and returns. The formula is tied to those specific numbers. If you're thinking to yourself, Well, that seems to have limited usefulness. You might have a point. If that's all Index could do, I wouldn't be particularly excited about using it. But here's the thing. In just a minute, I'll show you how you can pair Index with the match function to create a dynamic index match formula. And that's when this becomes incredibly powerful. But first, let's explore the match function on its own. What match does. The match function is designed to search for a specific value within a range and tell you the position number of where it found that value. Creating a match formula. Example 1. Here in cell J8 I'll type equals MATCH, open parenthesis. Excel is now looking for a lookup value. In other words, what should Excel search for? Let's say I want it to look for a specific month, like July. Now, because July is a text value and not a number, I need to put it in quotation marks for the formula to work properly. So I'll type quotation mark, July, quotation mark. Next, Excel expects a comma, and then the lookup array. So I'll type comma. The lookup array is the range where Excel should search for the word July. In this case, that's the column containing all the month names. I'll click and drag to select each month from January through December. Next, Excel expects another comma, and then it wants to know what type of match we're looking for. The options are 1 for less than, 0 for exact match, or 1 for greater than. When it comes to text values, it's a bit confusing to think about less than or greater than, so let's go with an exact match. I'll type comma, 0. The 0 represents exact match. Then I'll add the closing parenthesis and tap enter. Let me read that complete formula. Equals MATCH, open parenthesis, quotation mark, July, quotation mark, comma, A2 colon A12, comma, 0, close parenthesis. The result. The formula produces the number 7. Why did it return 7? Well, because I had Excel search the range from A2 through A12, looking for the word July. If you count from the beginning of that range, January is 1, February is 2, March is 3, April is 4, May is 5, June is 6, July is 7. July is the 7th item in the array or range, so match correctly returned 7. Creating a match formula. Example 2. Let's do a second example to make sure this concept is clear. Let's say I'm looking for a specific product category. I'll type equals MATCH, open parenthesis. My lookup value this time will be a product. I'll type quotation mark, software, quotation mark, comma. The lookup array is the column with product categories, so I'll click and drag to select that range, comma. Again, I want an exact match, so 0, close parenthesis, and tap enter. Checking the result. Let's verify this is accurate. We're searching for software in the product list. Counting across, DVDs is 1, CDs is 2, books is 3, magazines is 4, software is 5. It produced the number 5, which is correct. The limitation of match alone. Now, if you're thinking, that's nice, but this isn't very helpful on its own, I understand. But here's where it gets interesting. What if instead of typing the word software directly into the formula, I tied the match function to a cell that changes? For example, what if I linked it to these cells where I'll be typing different product categories and different months? This is an area of the spreadsheet that I expect to change frequently. I'll be typing in different months and different categories to look up different values. If I can tie these match formulas to cells that change, the formula becomes much more dynamic and powerful. Making match dynamic. Let me show you how to do that. In my first match example, instead of having the word July hard-coded in the formula, I could delete that and reference a cell instead. I'll click on cell J8, look up in the formula bar, and edit the formula. Instead of quotation mark, July, quotation mark, I'll simply click on the cell where the month will be entered. Let's say that's cell J4. When I tap enter, initially it gives me an error, NA, which means not applicable, because that cell is currently empty. But watch what happens when I type July in cell J4 and tap Enter. It produces the same result as before, the number 7. But the beautiful thing about this is that it's now adjustable. I can type August in that cell, and the match formula automatically updates to return 8. I can type January, and it changes to 1. This is dynamic. Making match dynamic. Example 2. Let's do the same thing with match example number 2. Instead of having software typed directly into the formula in quotation marks, I'll edit the formula to reference the cell where the product category will be entered. So in the formula, instead of quotation mark, software quotation mark, I'll click on cell J3, where the product category will be typed. When I tap Enter, yes, I get an error at first when the cell is blank. But now when I type books in cell J3, it produces a result, and this result is adjustable. I can change it to DVDs, and the match formula updates accordingly. Okay, so now these formulas are tied to variables that change, which makes them significantly more useful. Now comes the exciting part. We can put both of these functions together, index and match, in one combined formula to automatically look up and produce the sales figure for any product in any month. Building the combined formula. Let me show you how this works. I'll click in cell J5, where I want the final lookup result to appear. I'll type equals INDEX, open parenthesis. Remember, the whole point of the index function is to look at an array or range, and then produce a result based on the specific row and column that are specified. So first, Excel is looking for an array. Let me give it the same range of sales data that we used before. I'll click and drag to select that entire data range. Now Excel expects a comma, and then it wants the row number, followed by another comma, and the column number. So I'll type comma, using match for the row. Now, what row number should I specify? Well, I don't know which row number to use, because it's going to be variable. It's going to change based on what month has been typed into cell J4. The month will determine which row I need, and I don't know in advance what will be typed there. This is where we nest the match function inside the index function. We're using one function within a formula that starts with a different function. So after my comma, I'll type MATCH, open parenthesis. Match is looking for a lookup value. I don't know what that value will be. It's going to change, but it will be whatever month is typed in cell J4. So I'll click on cell J4. Notice that when I clicked there, Excel didn't insert the word January into my formula. It put the cell reference J4. That's exactly what I want. That's perfect. Now I'll type comma. Next, match wants the lookup array. What range should Excel search to find whatever month is in J4? Well, that's the column containing all the months. So I'll click and drag to select only the months. No empty cells above or below, just the month names. Then I'll type comma. What kind of match am I looking for? An exact match, so 0. Then I'll close that match function with close parenthesis. Back to index. Now Excel takes me back to the index function and reminds me that yes, I've been using match, but this is really an index formula. That's the function that started this whole formula. So it's reminding me that I still need to specify the column number. I need to type, comma, and then specify the column number, using match for the column. Again, I need to use match here because I don't know exactly what the column number is going to be. It's going to be based on what's typed in cell J3 in the product category field. That will determine which column I'm interested in. So I'll type MATCH, open parenthesis. Excel is looking for a lookup value. I don't know what that will be. It's variable, but it will be located in cell J3, where the product category is entered. So I'll click on J3. Then, comma. What's the lookup array? What range will be searched to find DVDs or books or CDs or whatever product? Well, it's the row of product category headers at the top. I'll click and drag to select that range. Then, comma. What kind of match are we looking for? An exact match. So, the then close parenthesis to close the match function. And finally, I really should add another. Close parenthesis to close the index function and finish off this complete formula. The complete formula. Let me read this entire formula aloud for clarity. Equals INDEX, open parenthesis, B2 colon H12, comma, MATCH, open parenthesis, J4, comma, A2 colon A12, comma, 0, close parenthesis, comma, MATCH, open parenthesis, J3, comma, B1 colon H1, comma, 0, close parenthesis, close parenthesis. Now I'll tap enter. Testing the formula. Excel produces a result for me. Let's verify this is correct. Perfect. The formula is working flawlessly. Demonstrating the dynamic nature. Now we can make changes to see how dynamic this is. Let's say I'm interested in software sales in the month of October. I'll change the product category to software and the month to October. The result updates automatically. Let me verify. Software in October. Yes, this is working perfectly. Now this is helpful and actually kind of fun to use even with such a small spreadsheet. But imagine instead of just 13 rows and 7 columns, what if this spreadsheet had so much data that it extended to 50 columns and 10,000 rows, or even more? This concept of combining index and match to pull out a specific result from a massive dataset, that's when this technique becomes truly invaluable and essential. Thanks so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope you found it helpful, and that you now understand how to use index and match together to create powerful dynamic lookups. If you found this video useful, please give it a like by clicking the button below. And definitely follow and subscribe to Sheet Leveler for more advanced Excel tutorials and tips. When you subscribe, make sure you click that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. I'm constantly creating new content to help you master Excel. I'm Hannah from Sheet Leveler, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy spreadsheeting!